What up? What up? What up? Tarun, you dirty scallywag, what's going on? My man. Chilling. Morning, everybody. What's going on? Let's do what we do. Good, we got a gap up in the markets here. After yesterday's very strong close. What's his face? Bostic or whatever. Yeah, he came in hot, said some shit. So you got a big close on it. Now you're gapping up. I really wish we didn't gap up so much. That it's gonna take a little bit of the fun out of this. It hasn't been clean pickings to chase like big gaps in the market. 0.7% is not crazy. You know, like if it was like 1 or 2, I would definitely say we got to probably stay out of this. But I think this is doable. We could still shred, and there's still enough PR plays and stuff running around that I think we are going to have some fun today. It's Friday. It's the original Sabbath for us non-Gentiles. Wait, are we the Gentiles or the non-Gentiles? But whatever it is, it's Friday. It's the Sabbath. You know, as always, no small caps, but we've got some things we can trade around. Let's go into the earnings place first. I think, you know, we may have like a little, if the first pull holds on the market, I think we may get one of these kind of gap and grind days. You know, we've been a little bit oversold. We've come into the supports. This is probably a prime time scenario for one of those slow gap and grind days, which are, you know, a little bit tricky to find entries sometimes, but like the market just kind of keeps cruising higher throughout the day, and you're like, fuck, I can't get a good entry. I need to do something. I got to chase something, you know, kind of. I feel like I don't consider go to a small cap really though, because it's like it doesn't like do MPCs or like wicks or anything. I mean, it'll do wicks, but like it's not really like a low flow. So you can do go to. We're not animals here. We got to have some fun. Good. All right, let's take a look at the PR plays. First pullback, we're adding stuff today. I think that's the play. You know, we'll always change on a dot if we have to. All right, let's take a look and see. All right, so you got CYTO. This is a reverse split stock. It's a biotech. They're always biotechs anyways. So you got a little bit of a break here out of a big base, the 50-day moving average. But this is going to be a tricky one. I don't know. It's $4 reverse split stock on a Friday. It's only got 1 million shares of volume so far. This is I don't know about this one. You play this one and you're really asking for trouble. Like you play this one and you lose. If you win, you're going to Outback Steakhouse, possibly Red Lobster, and the kids are getting all the fixings, right? But if you lose, you're going to end up catching your girlfriend making out in the bathroom with some bro with Oakley sunglasses, chugging a Monster energy drink, right? That came in with a like monster pickup truck with the big extra tires that calls her toots or baby cakes or sugar tits, that kind of guy. And you know, look, if like I stole your girl, you would be like, hey, that's the brown Brad Pitt. I get that, right? But if you lost your girl to some guy running around in a lifted pickup truck with one of those things in the front that like has the rope so you can like tie it and then like take things out, you don't want to be that. That's the type of shame that you could never really come back from ever. So you don't even want to do it. You don't want to do it. You know, you don't want to do it. So basically, you know, that kind of guy's like air balls, right? You don't want to do that. Now, let's go in. BFRG, this is an IPO stock. Oof. BFRG. Hey, is this Bullfrog? I don't know about this one either. We can come back to this. This is an old IPO. This was like kind of an AI name. When it IPO, they were kind of considering AI name. I'm gonna add it just to see if it gets any juice, but you never know. I didn't see any PR on it. HRTG. I live in Florida, but I'm not a Floridian. My bank accounts, my dentist, everybody's in Michigan, the great state of Michigan, where sane people still live. Good people from Midwest are good, solid, God-fearing folk. All right, here. Yes, we got to add AI. Obviously, we probably half the money we've made this year has been on AI. So fucking gotta do it. Ardelex swings up to Q4 profit as revenue surges. Oh, I got a surge in my pants from this one. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I got problems. That's nice. Let's add that. I don't know if it's going to be wild. This is probably a little bit thicker, but it's a biotech stock. You got to break out. You already got a couple million volumes, right? As the good people of India would say, volume. Let's add it. We'll narrow down the list a little bit later. Hey, BBAI off the 200 SMA. If AI starts cooking, this one had a little bit of early morning strength too. So you can see, like, even when the market was kind of fading off, this one actually was kind of doing a little rip and ride, slip and slide as it started to push. As long as it kind of holds above this zone right here, I think we're gonna be in for a nice little treat on that one. This one's too illiquid, bad chart. Ooh. What's up with this bad boy? I haven't heard about. We haven't traded this thing in a while. Let's see. Asan upgraded with a buy from D.A. Davidson. Right? Fucking D.A. Davidson. Hey, where do you work? Oh, yeah, I'm an analyst. Oh, whereabouts? Goldman Sachs? J.P. Morgan? D.A. Davidson, the name you know. Fuck that. We can't trust it. But that's a nice chart, man. It really is a nice chart. That's a beauty right there. When you got the breakout, good, nice 1 month of consolidation, got a tightness of range. Ooh. This thing trades thin, though. It really trades thin. Even when it does like 3-4 million shares, it trades thin. But you know what? 3-4 million shares when it's like $100-$200, those feel thin because, like, you know, the higher the price, the bigger the spread usually is. This could work. You guys hear that? Opportunity. America, man. America, man. Add it. Asan, add it. I give that a B+. Ooh, Bitcoin short. So Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a blunkin today, down about 5%. Yeah, we might get a little short on coin again today. We'll see. Junk. Memories. All right. This is all junk. Let's see if we got anything on the downside. Then we're gonna go over some of these big boys and see what's going on. Change point, Q4 loss, revenue increases, guidance set. Yeah, if we need a short, let's add CHPT. Let's add Zscaler. You got a breakdown over here. You know, the way some of these tech stocks have been low, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of reversal on this one at some point. But we'll add that. Marvel. We can add Marvel too. Look, the CDNA got a bear rate on it yesterday. You know, you may get a day 2 play on this if it gets under, I don't know, maybe about 950 or so. This SSR will be on this, so it'll be a little bit tricky. You can add it for now. We got to narrow this list down anyways. Hey, CDIO, I would consider this almost like an inside day. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing try to make little dipsy do dunkaroo, over the 8 spot. Once again, no small caps on Fridays, right? We're degenerates, but we're only degenerates on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. But Fridays is about freedom. Bumbler. Oh, Bumble's got an offering. I don't know. Offering news is they just don't have good range for the most part. Hey, so this coin's still holding support. It got a nice shred on it because of that SI news, but then it kind of completely rebounded, filled the whole gap. This could go really either way. It's actually really coiled up. And frankly, I found it very bullish that even while SI was getting smoked out, man, they pulled the borrow on this. I tried to short this thing in the fucking pre-market. Tried to short it over here. Bastards. This thing's going to zero. So the fact that coin even had a rebound is nice. I think this is probably a prime time candidate, oddly enough, for a red to green. What you think? Yeah, I think so too. Just based on this, but it can go either way. But this thing is coiled, right? This thing is tight. It's real tight. You've got yourself, man, really. So you got wide range, tighter, tighter, tighter. That's how you build explosion. Now you're ready to go. Sergey, yeah. Crypto had a dump. SI had a dump. So we'll see. It's mid-range right now. So when you guys, the stock is mid-range, there's not much to do, right? Your penis in between us. You got to either push through or this way, especially when you get this kind of pattern. They call these things wedgies or whatever, but in essence, it's a coiled pattern. When the range just compresses into such a level where there's nowhere left to go, right? Because you're backing and filling it, you'll have an explosive move one way or another. We don't know necessarily which way it is. I mean, my gut feeling is it goes to the upside, but I could be wrong. Good. All right, let's take a look and see what else we got going on over here. Good. Now let's just talk about some large caps here. Meta's got a level. Let's look at 30-minute charts first. So you got, after this big gap up on earnings, you've had this big pullback here. See this rounding pattern here? And you're building out a level here. So what you always want to be doing is looking at different time frames, like when you're building out your list, right? Most people just sit there and look at the pre-market action because most people are lazy or they just don't know what to do, right? You want to look at things from multiple levels. So it goes like this. You got big picture is your daily chart. That's your idea generation. Then you go to an intermediate term chart to figure out where the levels are and where the supply and demand zones are. All right. And then you go to a smaller term picture, which is like your 5-minute chart or a 10-minute chart. I use 5-minute chart. And that's your areas of execution to capitalize on, right, what you saw in that intermediate term chart of where the sweet spots are and the levels are. And then the daily chart is your idea. So you're kind of looking at three things in 3 ways. Idea generation, right? Supply and demand zones. And then these are 30-minute or hourly will show you really where all the sweet spots are that you can't see on a daily chart. And then you're going to your 5-minute chart to really fine tune your entries. And if you can do that consistently, then you're going to not get yourself in too much trouble, and you'll be able to really have some kind of consistency to what you do. So just kind of always be mindful of that. A lot of times people just turn on their scanners and they look for gappers and stuff, and then they're just like on their intraday chart, and they're just like ding, 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 ding. And those people are never going to make any money. This is nice. You guys see it? So once we hold this 178, we've got a suction zone into kind of the 181s. Then if it really cleared that, then we would have much more, right? We would have much more opportunity probably into this spot here. Ooh, man, you guys see how good of a line drawer I am? Like, fuck trading. Like, I professionally draw lines. All right? You see how nice and straight those things are? Well, my mom gave me some skill here. What do? I draw really pretty lines on charts. Oh, we got a nice spot over here. You know what'd be nice on TC does? If you draw the lines on the 30-minute chart, they wouldn't show up on the daily. That would be nice, because then you don't have to like ruin your damn charts. That's nice. Add that. All right. Now, next one, SQ, right? Big run, pull back. This gap right here, see this candle right here? This was the earnings day. So at earnings out, they were fairly received considering the market was taking a shitter or whatever. But now he's built out this nice range here. I would go with like 78.50. It doesn't really matter, right? These are not like when people like talk about levels, like it's never like an exact spot, right? Where it's like, hey, if it goes here, like you make money. It's more about a zone of love, right? Where you start to approach these levels. And if you can release over it, and then you build patterns over it, because now you've had the release point, and then you build over it, that's when you get the movement, right? So just breaking over level doesn't mean anything, right? It's a zone of love, but that's where you start to get your interest in, and then you start applying patterns and setups and things of that nature, right? A setup is just a list of conditions that must trigger before a trade is taken, right? List of conditions that must trigger before a trade is taken. That's all a setup is. So you pass the level, then you look for setup, and then you shred, right? And then hopefully you make a lot of money. And on Friday, you get yourself to that Sizzler, you get yourself that Red Lobster, you get yourself that Monster Energy drink. You have yourself some fun, right? Get yourself a nice Cabernet. Get yourself a nice Cabernet. Hey, man. Hey, you got any of that Merlots? Hey, you got any of that Merlots? I'll take a little Cabernet, a little Merlot. I'm having myself some fun today. Now, so we got SQ, Meta. Whitney, you know that. If you're in California, so you haven't really got probably, you probably hang out with a lot of wine and cheese guys, like, hey, hi, Whitney. Pleasure to meet you. I'm going to take you out today. My name is Rahul. I just got done with a yoga retreat, and it was fantastic. Could I interest you in some sparkling water with the pH balances at a proper alkaline level? Shalom. Now, Whitney, I know you may be confused that my name is Rahul because I'm white, but I believe in inclusion of all species and races. And so I changed my name from James to Rahul so that I could be one with my Indian tech brothers. Shalom. Now, may I interest you in some figs? They are delectable. Now, Whitney, I don't want to be so forward to make you think that we are on a date today, but would it be okay if maybe tonight, after I roofie your sparkling water with the proper alkaline levels, then maybe we could go home and play a little pet the cat? And you know what? If that's a little bit too forward, you can actually pet my real cat. His name is Sam. California, baby, California. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Those are my Indian people, man. What can we do? Why you guys all distracting me like this today? I don't know why you guys distracting me today. All right, small. This is not considered small cap, but add in laser today. 9:35 trigger. You guys, stop distracting me. This is fucked up. We're supposed to try and make some money today. I don't know what's going on here, right? 9:35, 9:40. All right. I don't know what's wrong with me. Leave me alone. All right. Okay, add in TTD also. Look, this was earnings pop. Now you've digested. You had like 9 down days, 5, 6 sideways days. You got some nice levels building out on this bad boy too. I mean, you're right at the release point, give or take a couple pennies here or there. I like this kind of look, like at least for this type of market. You know, you had like these big kind of pushes. You spend like the 10 days just consolidating. Now you start clearing out these levels. Woo! Set alerts for all these things too. Good. Now let's go back through some of these gappers and just make sure we got, let's rank these things. All right. This not really that high rank, probably. All right. And that Duolingo was nice yesterday, wasn't it? Oh man, that was nice. Hold on, let's clear out all this shit. Hey, CRM for day 2. You know what? It sat around yesterday because it's just a higher float stock. And when you gap up into resistance or higher float, you may not like have much cruising at altitude, but it should have a day 2. I think this Okta is probably a better play. Watch and see how it reacts around 82. Guys, these earnings plays with the slightly lower floats, they can fucking take off like really, really fast. Like you see Duolingo yesterday, right? You just had this small gap down, and then you took out the range, and then it was right off to the races. And so, you know, you can, these day 2 plays on the earnings, they can be really, really hot. So I would keep Okta like real close to the top of your list, especially if the tech market goes. Man, Billy got some upgrades here, but it's in a weird spot. Yeah, pass for now. Six Flags. Man, that's nice. Six Flags is a retail stock. It's got a good breakup. I don't know if it's got any range on it. AI, I think this is going to be probably top of the list. I really hope it pulls just a tad. ARDX, this is okay. BBAI, CHPT, ZS, Marvel, CDNA. Oof. Good. For a little speculative action, let's add in this go-to for the red to green. And anything over 440 triggers this bad boy. Anything over 440 triggers this bad boy. Had 20 million shares in volume compared to actually the day of its earnings. It really didn't do anything. Yesterday, for some reason, the squeeze just came in. I like it. And then, of course, you know, we've been waiting for the vaunted $8 breakout in IQ that just never seems to come. Good. All right, let's go back into this, right? So we've SQ out of the large caps. We want the ones that have the levels, right? So you got SQ, you've got Meta, NVIDIA, Tesla are daily traders. You've got coin on the red to green. SQ over that 78.50-ish. I know a lot of you guys have been looking at this FSLR, but my only worry on this is like it's up 5-6 days in a row. I think for me personally, I would rather see something like that pull. You could do Twilio too. Hey, and AMD had a nice push yesterday. You know, there was some news out that Dan Loeb or whoever, you know, took a stake in it, but it looks like it just moved pretty much accordingly to all the other stocks. So I don't know if it has any extra heat on it. Good. That's the list I'm sticking to it. You can add Twilio too, of course. 82 on Okta. Whew. Let's hope this go-to goes right off the bat. That's the list. I'm sticking to it, bros. So we're up about 0.6% on the indexes right now. So it's not so big that you need a pull. I mean, of course, a pull can always happen, right? But it's not so big that you need the pull. I think we try to shred. Let's go do what we do, guys. It's been a good week. I would say it's been a good week. It's been a clean week. Man, it's been a no stress week too. That's the best kind of trading. I mean, I don't think we really had to stay past, right, 12 o'clock on any of these days unless we wanted to. That's the kind of trading you want. 1 or 2 hours of glory and then go. I'm fluffing. I'm fluffing and duffing and moving all around. Let's do this. Let's do this.